Bienvenidos, Fright fans. Welcome to the horror show. I'm Jaime and Fuego.
I'm Cecil, Laird.
And we are doing a patron request from none other than our boy, Teddy Brown.
Teddy Brown.
Yeah, very stoked to be talking
Teddy Brown,
about...
I'm mad at you about this.
But I'm still very stoked to be talking about Lone
this
Wolf.
and next week's. Jesus.
Sadly, this is Sans Cub, and this has nothing to do with, the Lone Wolf property that I was previously familiar with. This was a film that I had zero idea even existed.
Me too.
And, it's basically...
I thought you'd like it because of the hairband.
I didn't mind this movie. I don't think I hated it quite as much as you, but boy, is it silly and... I don't know. Basically, think late 80s hair metal band that gets themselves mixed up in a, werewolf situation.
A werewolf whodunit.
And yet, for whatever reason, they're all, computer college students, designing programming and... all of this different stuff. Okay, look, the original songs are cheese dick and really, really bad. And, it's funny because this band is, supposedly getting a residency at this rock club, and they have no reason or merit to be getting said residency, and yet most of them double as these IT students at a local college, and there's a werewolf that is going around killing people. I didn't think the werewolf effects really looked that bad, personally.
They didn't look as bad
and there's
as
some interesting
some
kills.
have.
Yeah, there's hearts ripped out and craziness like that. But
yes.
It all builds to...
For back then, it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
For back then, it wasn't terrible.
This is 1988, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, it just boils to... It all builds up to, a school dance, costume party, and the werewolf gets on stage and great costume, dude, and it's just...
You knew that was coming, too.
Oh, man, it was... This movie was just silly enough for me to actually find the slightest bit of enjoyment in it, but it's not a good movie.
No.
It's so far from it, in fact.
Teddy, I don't know what's going on with you. Teddy must be just requesting some movies that he really liked growing up.
You're trolling on us, aren't you, Teddy?
I don't know why he requested Alpha Wolf, because that was very recently with Casper Van Dien playing a werewolf.
Ah, Rico himself.
Oh my god, it's really, really rough though. So
okay, so which was worse then, this or that? Since I didn't watch
Alpha
Wolf.
They're both... honestly, I would rather watch this again than Alpha Wolf, because Alpha Wolf is just tropey garbage.
This had a cheesy charm to it a little bit.
A cheesy, old-school charm to it. It felt... I've never seen Trick or Treat. Right, the original Trick or Treat.
Okay, yeah, the one that had Ozzy and Gene Simmons in it.
But because of that band aspect, the hair band aspect, it made me feel like it belonged of that ilk, and it was.
Oh, it's totally in that same vein.
Yeah, it was pretty entertaining. I think the werewolf stuff was relatively lackluster, especially compared to some of the stuff we've gotten in other movies. But it wasn't completely bad.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't really impressive. The acting, if we can segue into that, I thought was very mediocre for the time.
Yeah, the extended cast, and I mean, it's just basically you've got the rockers who yet are oppressed by the jocks, which I thought was a really weird dynamic, because
what are you talking about? That's always the case.
I suppose so, but and then the girls are very boring, and there was one chick who was very much almost I don't know, she was poor woman's Dee Wallace of sorts, and
I can see that.
Yeah, and it was the one who actually goes on the hunt and the investigation with the other guy, and he shows up at her house late at night, and she's like, "Can you please leave so I can get dressed?" and all this other stuff, and he's just oogling her, and she's like, "He's such a nice guy though," but man, all of the performances were pretty bad, and the angsty lead singer was really just bad. And then the silly goofy cop too, the one who's "Get your feet off my desk."
Yeah, all the characters were such cliches and not good ones.
Stereotypical.
Not good ones. So I wasn't a big fan of the acting. The effects, if we're going to jump into that, I felt
like there were some decent kills in this.
I thought the effects were okay. The werewolf effects were, again, this is a case of your Wolfman kind of werewolf where it's just a human with a lot of fur. Yeah. And sharp teeth.
Looking like a rocker,
and claws.
Yeah. And honestly, where it goes to town at the very end of the movie, at the costume party, it just starts killing a ton of people. I actually really liked that scene. I thought it was effective and it was pretty fun. But, yeah, aside from that, I mean, it's not going to save a movie that has such a boring, story and everything else. So, yeah, and the band, God, if the songs could have at least been good, but they were singing about, rock and roll this and rock and roll that, blah, blah, it's damn. I don't know.
Raggedy rock and roll's bad.
Yeah. Not with this one.
It was not good. Like, I don't know, man. We've seen so many other band-centric films at this point that this one just doesn't hold a candle to it. I mean,
it doesn't.
Cinematographically, it didn't really do it for me either. I mean, this movie was just, I could have done without it. But Teddy, you know, he contributed good money.
Yeah,
so
and we greatly appreciate, you know, at least having us walk down this crazy road of sorts. I mean, hey.
Yeah, I mean, I can't in all earnestness recommend it for people. I mean, even sort of a fun way. It just wasn't even sort of fun campy. It just was old school. This is no reflection on you, Teddy, obviously, or anyone else that likes this movie. This is just our own personal opinion, having watched it now 40 years after it was originally made, or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
30.
Well, whatever. Close enough.
Close enough.
So, I don't know. I think, any other thoughts on this one? I mean, there's not a whole lot to delve into.
Not so much, unfortunately. But, hey, I mean, once again, like you, I can't recommend it, but I had enough fun here or there that, and it's, God, what streaming service was it on? It was on Prime?
Yeah, I think it was Prime, yeah.
Yeah, so if you have, like...
You can watch this and then Alpha Wolf, right? Back to back like I did.
If you have 80 minutes to spare and you like vampires... werewolf shizzle. I don't know. I don't think there's enough werewolf movies, but this is not one that's going to join the pantheon of the best.
No,
so.
Definitely not. So, why don't you guys let us know in the comments down below if you have seen Lone Wolf. What did you think of it? If you haven't... I'm guessing this isn't going to make you want to, but maybe go and watch the trailer and see if that interests you.
Teddy, comment below.
Yeah, come back and comment on what you thought after the fact. So, thank you guys very much for watching. I've been Cecil Laird.
Gracias a Jaime Fuego.
And remember, stay scared.